Hey guys, welcome to Simple Real Estate. Now, many people said, how can I build a real estate empire? Coming up next, a few tips of the trade that could have you making $1 million just faster than you ever thought possible. So how can I build a real estate empire and make $1 million? A lot of people ask this question all the time. And the answer is there's really no quick get-rich scheme or buy 1 million properties with no money down. So at the end of the day, you'll need to put some money down, but there are some simple steps that I can tell you that will work based on many, many years of doing this. So proven track record with friends of mine that have been in the real estate business, and in the last 15 years that I've been in it, you start to see a trend. You start to see people who have sold off their properties and tried to flip houses, and then you also look at the individuals that held on to their real estate. And at the end of a 15-year span, if I think of the people who I started out in the business and all the way on to the end, I look at my own mistakes, such as selling property, but I look at some individuals that held them. And the key to real estate is holding. Hold the real estate, get the passive income, and get the appreciation as time goes on. So let's talk a little bit about how to build the real estate empire. I'm talking for the people right now that might not have a lot of money to put down. Because if I was smart when I was 22 or even 19 or even 18, I would have bought property and built my real estate empire. That way 10 or 15 years down the road, I would probably be so financially independent that the next 20 years that I did that, I would be extremely, extremely wealthy. So the best advice that I can give to any young person out there, aside from education being the most popular way to go, and I want to spend $50,000 in college and everything else, and hopefully I get a job afterwards. That's another whole class that we can talk to about that. I would say if you got yourself $5,000, start buying yourself your first rental house. And it's not going to take more than that, because in certain areas of the world where you don't mind jumping on a train and traveling 4 to 6 or 8 hours to the actual location, because let's face it, in a lot of areas, especially the cities, you're not going to find the houses for $15,000 or $20,000. You have to go a little further out. Like I live in New York City. There's no way in hell you're buying anything for less than $500,000. But if you start to go out to South Carolina, where I have a lot of my investments, in Virginia, those are sort of the states that you can find these incredible deals, and they're a dime a dozen. I don't care how many people that get into this real estate game, there's always going to be great deals. So there's no such thing as there's no more market left. So there's always great deals to buy. It's just a matter of how much you want to bite off, how much you want to chew. So start off with your first house, no matter what it is, right? Make sure it's not so dilapidated that you're going to be putting more money into the house than what it's worth. But if you're buying a house for, let's say, $15,000, the rule of thumb is to put anywhere between $4,000 to $5,000 into it to get it ready to rent for hopefully $1,000 a month. If that's the case, you're at the 50% bracket, your return on your money. If you can't pay for the house in cash, you put the $5,000 down, you leverage the rest with some sort of bank finance or private financing, and you are hopefully at a positive of about $350 a month. That's my goal. My goal is I always like to have about $300 of a credit after everything is paid for, just to keep a little bit of a cushion there. You don't want to put yourself in a situation where if the market crashes, you're done and everything is just going to be given up and you lose your investment. Start with the first house. Then from there, if you can get to 10 houses at $1,000 a month, you're at $10,000 a month. Now, if you can get to 12 houses, you're at $12,000 a month. You can always take out the equity and appreciated value of the house for more money to buy the next house. So pretty soon, I have several friends of mine that have both upwards of 50 to 100 houses. They're all in low-income areas, and they do everything from Section 8 to government housing, or even just a straight rental. Some are rent-to-own. But they have found incredible wealth by holding on to the houses. When going through the years of the bad times, I said to myself, man, I'm not holding on to it. So the normal reaction is to kind of get scared, but you have to go into this in the long haul and say to yourself, I'm going to hold these units for as long as I can. I'm going to make passive income, because if you look at any person that's made a ton of money, they're worth millions and hundreds of millions of dollars, they always have assets that they've held on to that are producing generated income on a monthly basis. That is the secret for wealth building. I don't care about how many people are on YouTube trying to sell you their stupid program. The only reason why they're selling you the program is because they failed miserably doing what they're doing and trying to make money off the program. So there are simple rules and tactics that you can follow to be a good real estate investor and to have incredible passive income. I see it all day long. I'm part of some really secret groups of real estate people. So I'm talking to these individuals, and people have upwards of $120,000 a month in rental income with no mortgages. Could you imagine that? $120,000 a month in rental income with 0 mortgages, and they're still buying more property. Nobody did it based on just them getting 50 houses handed to them. Everybody I know worked for it, and the way to work for it is starting in your first investment first. Go on to Zillow, type in a different city or state that you're comfortable with going. Make sure there's a direct train there, so the route is good, because near train stations are going to be near the low-income housing. So that's a good area for just to buy a train ticket, hop off, and so if you do need to see it, or you're managing your own property, we'll talk about that in another show. You can get there. There are houses a dime a dozen for $15K. Pick them up, start your first house, rent it, get somebody in there, and build wealth, build houses, and control your own monopoly game. Good luck. Hopefully you buy the first house into the real estate investing game. If you like this video, like, subscribe, or comment, because it helps me give free advice to people. We're not selling anything here. So whether you're flipping, dipping, or just renting the house, good luck on your next venture.